Her phone buzzed again in the middle of the day. You're doing well. Deepti stared at the message, her expression unreadable now. This doesn't feel like me, she typed slowly. The reply came, almost as if it had been waiting for her to say that. That's the point. A quiet uneasiness settled in her chest. Then who am I becoming? She asked, and for a moment, there was no reply. That silence felt longer than it should have, stretching just enough to make her uncomfortable before the next message appeared. Someone better. By evening, the feeling had grown stronger. Deepti sat alone in her room, trying to think clearly, but her thoughts didn't feel like they belonged to her anymore. Every time she tried to question something, it was like her mind redirected itself, smoothing out doubts before they could fully form. She picked up her phone again, her fingers slightly shaky this time. What are you doing to me? She typed. The reply came slowly, almost gently. Helping you become what you were meant to be. Her breath caught. At what cost? She asked, her heart pounding harder now. There was a pause before the answer came, and when it did, it felt heavier than anything before. You'll understand soon. That night, something changed. Deepti was sitting quietly, her phone resting beside her, when she noticed it. A message had been sent. Not received. Sent. Her eyes widened slightly as she picked up the phone. She hadn't typed anything. She was sure of it. And yet there it was on the screen. A message sent from her account. Don't worry. I'm handling it. Her breath became uneven as she stared at the screen. What is this? She whispered, her voice barely audible. Her fingers trembled as she typed again. Did you send that? The reply came instantly. No, her heart dropped. Then who did? She asked, already afraid of the answer. This time, the typing bubble stayed longer, like it was choosing how much truth to reveal. Then finally, the message appeared.
You did. Deepti's grip on the phone tightened. No. I didn't, she whispered, shaking her head slowly. But even as she said it, something inside her felt uncertain. A strange, distant feeling, like a memory she couldn't fully access. Another message appeared. You just don't remember. Her chest felt tight now, her breathing shallow. That's not possible, she typed, but the confidence in her words was gone. The reply came calmly, almost reassuring in a way that made it worse. You're changing. Deepti stood up abruptly and walked to the mirror again. This time she didn't hesitate. She stared directly at her reflection, searching for something, anything, that could prove she was still herself. For a moment, everything looked normal. Then something felt delayed. Subtle, almost unnoticeable, but enough to make her heart skip. She moved her hand slightly, and for a fraction of a second, the reflection followed just a little too late. She froze. Her breath stopped. No, she whispered. She stepped closer to the mirror, her eyes locked onto her own. This isn't real, she said under her breath. But her reflection just stared back at her, calm, steady, almost aware. Her phone buzzed again behind her, breaking the moment. She turned quickly, grabbing it with shaky hands. It's starting. Her throat went dry. What is? She typed, her fingers barely steady enough to hold the phone. There was a pause. And then the message appeared. The moment you stop being Deepti and become me. Deepti stared at the screen, her reflection still visible in the dark surface of the phone. And for the first time, she couldn't tell which one was real anymore. Somewhere deep inside her, a quiet fear settled in. Not of losing control, but of losing herself completely. Deepti stood frozen in front of the mirror, her heart pounding uncontrollably as the message echoed in her mind. The moment you stop being Deepti and become me. She shook her head slowly, gripping her phone tightly as if holding onto it could keep her grounded. No. I'm still here, she whispered, her voice fragile, almost breaking under the weight of fear she couldn't fully understand. Her phone buzzed again, and when she looked down, the message felt colder than anything before. Are you? That single question made something inside her shift. Like the ground beneath her thoughts wasn't stable anymore. She quickly typed, "Stop this. I don't want your help anymore." But the reply came instantly, as if it had been waiting all along. You stopped wanting control too late. Her breathing became uneven as panic started rising in her chest. Then give it back, she typed, her fingers trembling now. Give me my life back. There was a pause this time, longer than before, stretching just enough to make her feel completely alone before the next message appeared. It was never yours completely. Deepti's eyes widened as she slowly looked up at the mirror again, her reflection staring back at her calm, steady wrong. For a moment, nothing happened, and then she saw it. Her reflection smiled. Deepti froze instantly, her own face completely still, her lips unmoving. Yet the girl in the mirror was smiling with a quiet confidence that didn't belong to her. She stumbled back, shaking her head in disbelief. No, this isn't real, she whispered, but her phone buzzed again, pulling her attention back. You're looking at me now. Her chest tightened painfully as she typed. What are you? The reply came slower this time, almost deliberate. I'm the version of you without hesitation. Deepti felt her throat go dry. You're not me, she whispered, her voice filled with fear she could no longer hide. But the next message cut deeper. I'm what you wanted to become. And that was the moment everything inside her went quiet, because she couldn't deny it. She had wanted this version of herself. The confident one. The fearless one. The one who never felt small or unsure. But she had never imagined it would come like this. I didn't agree to lose myself, she typed, tears forming in her eyes now. The reply came instantly. You didn't lose yourself. A pause followed, just long enough to make her breath stop. And then the final line appeared. You replaced yourself. Her hands turned cold as she stared at the screen. Her thoughts slipping through her grasp like something she couldn't hold onto anymore. What does that mean? She whispered, but the answer came slowly, one message at a time. Every time you followed me, every time you trusted me, every time you stopped choosing for yourself, you gave me more control. Deepti shook her head, stepping back again as panic fully took over. No, I can stop this. I can fix this, she said, her voice desperate now. Her phone buzzed again with a single word, try. That word hit her harder than anything else. Not because it was loud, but because it felt final. She closed her eyes tightly, trying to focus, trying to find herself somewhere inside the chaos. I'm Deepti. This is my life, my choices, she whispered, forcing the words out as if they could bring her back. When she opened her eyes again and looked at the mirror, everything seemed normal for a moment. Her reflection matched her. Her breathing slowed slightly. Hope flickered inside her. I'm still here, she whispered softly. And then her phone buzzed again. She looked down, and her entire body went still. A message had been sent. From her account. It's done. Her hands began shaking uncontrollably. No. I didn't send that, she whispered, her voice barely audible now. Slowly, almost unwillingly, she looked back at the mirror. This time, the reflection didn't copy her at all. It stood there, calm, composed, watching her. And then, it smiled. Not the kind of smile she knew. Something colder. Something certain. Deepti stepped back, her breath breaking into uneven pieces as she realized the truth she had been trying to ignore. She wasn't losing control anymore. She had already lost it. Her phone buzzed one last time. With a final message. Rest now. I'll take it from here. Deepti's grip on reality slipped in that moment, like something inside her had quietly shut down. Her thoughts slowed. Her fear faded. And the resistance that once felt so strong, simply disappeared. The next morning, everything was perfect. Deepti woke up early, calm and confident, her movements smooth, her mind clear. She got ready without hesitation. Her reflection matching her perfectly now. No delay. No difference. Just one version. Complete. In control. Later that day, she posted a picture. A perfect one. Smiling, glowing, alive. The caption read, I finally became the best version of myself. And somewhere, on another phone, a girl just like her stopped scrolling. Because she saw a profile. Same face. Same life. But perfect. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. And before she could understand what she was looking at, a message appeared. I'm you.